Custom tile showers can be a great addition to any bathroom. Not only do they look good, but they offer homeowners an infinite amount of design possibilities. There is, however, a negative, and it's a big one. So many tile showers are installed with inadequate waterproofing. I'd be willing to bet that the majority of custom showers that were done 10 years or more ago have some sort of waterproofing related issue, like mold, rotting framing materials, or bad smells, and these can be caused from water being stuck between the liner and the pan, or the weep holes are clogged and the water's not getting out like it should. These kind of issues can progress for years before the average homeowner will even know there's a problem. But there is some good news. Waterproofing products have come a long way, and now, easier than ever before, you can get a problem-free, leak-free, waterproof tile shower. If you're a homeowner and you don't have much experience with this type of project, there isn't anything that I'm going to show you that's extremely difficult. Now, your tile probably won't be as straight as the pros, and your cuts might be off a little bit, but this is how you learn. What you don't want to do is skip any of the steps from the time you start doing your shower pan, and when you install your liner, and when you do this waterproofing that's a paintable type membrane. One thing that I want to mention is that there are other ways to create a waterproof shower. There's a ton of products out there, so if you see somebody doing it without the poured pan, and without the Durarock cement board or the paintable membrane, it doesn't mean that it's wrong or it's a lesser way to do it. But if a contractor doesn't realize this, chances are they aren't doing their homework and they don't realize what's out there. This is just the most common way to do it, and it's just how I do it. Okay, so I've got my first layer of my pan poured, I've got my liner installed, and I'm starting the process of waterproofing. I've already got some of it on. And I'm going to do some more waterproofing once I get my second layer of my pan or shower floor poured. And I'm kind of skipping around a little bit because I'm trying to maximize my time between projects because I've got a million other things going on. But below the video you'll see a link that I posted that shows you how to get to this point that I'm at right now. Okay, so when choosing your waterproof membrane, I found that just about every one I've tried seems to work just fine. Some are going to be easier to use than others or take more coats than others, but chances are the easier ones are going to cost a lot more. I've used the ones from Lowe's and I've used RedGuard from Home Depot and they seem to work just fine. I'm currently using a Lady Creek product and it's not as easy to find, but if you want you can get it on eBay or Amazon. So this is the secret ingredient to a waterproof tile shower. It's one of the steps out there that a lot of people are also skipping, but don't, because it's extremely important. The membrane alone is not going to guarantee a waterproofing because of the corners, and a house moves over time, so if you want to reinforce the corners, you've got to do it with this so that it can stand up to the movement. And what this is a fiberglass fabric tape. And you've got to use this with your membrane if you want to guarantee your shower is not going to leak. This is only rated for about 1/8 of an inch gap, and even if you don't have it now, you might when the house moves, and it will open up and it could cause a leak. And also any other tape that you have is not going to work like this. If you have the Durarock tape that you use, don't use it for this application. It's not going to do the same thing. I would use that for the floor. This is actually a Lady Creek product as well I got from Amazon. It's called Lady Creek Waterproofing Anti-Fracture Fabric. And it was about 20 bucks and it's 75 feet, which is more than enough to do the entire shower and all the built-ins that you could possibly want. So I'm going to show you how to put this on and just how easy it is. Pre-cut a piece of this fabric and I'm going to put it on this horizontal seam. You can put it on different ways. Some people put it on with rollers and putty knives. I usually use just a 3-inch brush, all-purpose brush. You don't technically have to put it on before you stick it because it will seep through it, just depending on the consistency of your stuff. But if you want to make sure it's under there, then you might as well do it. So you just put enough to stick the tape and make sure that it's getting into that crack pretty good. and then you just stick it to it. And if you were to hold it up there and just work it in with your brush, it will go through to the other side, but it's just a lot easier to go ahead and paint it on before you stick it. And after I put it on, I let it dry and come back and I do several coats. You don't technically have to do that many coats. A lot of them say do 2 good coats. I do overkill, and I don't even know how many to do. I just keep going because I really just want to make sure that there's no chance that it will ever leak. And you could go ahead and paint the entire shower when you're doing this. I just don't, because I come back and I end up coating these seams so many times, and then I always put at least 2 coats on the rest of the Durarock board. I know a lot of it's overkill and you don't have to do it, but if it's not hurting, I usually favor the overkill. And when you do the inside corner, I like to go ahead and make a little crease in it. Just makes it easier to have a defined corner when you're doing your tile. Helps keep your tile straight. But if you can see the crack that I have in between my Durarock, it's much larger than the 1/8 inch that the membrane says that it will stay waterproof with. Where my house is all, I don't even try to get this Durarock stuff on perfect, because I know that I'm going to come back and waterproof it with this, and it'll be just fine. Same thing, you just paint it on. And I'm doing it in little sections just to show you. When you do it yourself, you'll want to probably go just from the ceiling all the way to the floor in one piece, just to make it easier and a lot faster. You don't have to be real neat, and you don't have to get it deep within the crack, because that undercoating is not what's going to make it waterproof. The waterproofing membrane actually fills in all the grooves of this fiberglass tape, and the water will stop there. It will never see that crack. Okay, so we've got our vertical seams and our horizontal seams. Go ahead and coat the entire shower. Some people say you don't have to do the far seams because they don't see direct water. But if I want to spray water up there and clean my tiles, I want to make sure that my entire shower is waterproof. There's really no reason not to. You might as well do it. One thing you'll need to know, there's a couple special cuts for this fiber tape that help to waterproof these little built-ins. I built this one just out of 2x4s, used my scrap backer board, and you tape it, seal it, and it's completely waterproof. There's no reason to go out and buy a $100 shampoo built-in when you can build it yourself with the stuff you already have. This is actually a little foot stand for my wife shaving her legs. So I'm actually building a shampoo one over there, and I will post a video and attach it to this when I do that, and I'll show you from the very beginning how I put the backer board and everything in, and I'll go through the waterproofing in more detail when I do that one. But I'm going to show you these corners. the bottom inside along the floor and the little roof of this cubby, you're going to want a special cut. And all you're going to do is cut you a little square, just like that. And you just take some scissors and you cut it up about halfway. And when you do that, you just fold the bottom over top of itself, and it makes this little corner. And you'll slide that right in the corner, and you'll coat it and apply it just like you did the rest of the stuff. They actually sell these. There's no reason to buy it because this is just as waterproof as anything else. I put at least one of these in all four inside corners of these cubbies, and then you also want to coat the remainder of these little seams and overlap these corners with a flat piece. You don't have to use the full 6-inch. You can cut it down to 3-inch. Stick it in the corner, and I also coat the back. The entire inside of these built-ins is coated in this and the membrane paint. When you do the outside corners, a little bit different. I just cut another little square, little rectangle, just move the little cut a little bit further over to the side, and then all you're going to do is fold one side back, and you just stick it on. And then after I coat that, I'm going to do the same thing where I put another straight piece, which I'm going to, instead of tucking it in the corner, I'm going to wrap it around this outside corner. So basically, from the inside corners, the whole outside, the entire built-in is going to be coated in both the fiberglass tape and the membrane. Okay, the last cut I'm going to show you is going to be used on the top of your curb, or if you have a half wall. And what you do is you start with a larger square that's the same width as your curb, and you just got 2 slits in it. And then all you're going to do is just fold it over, just like that, and slide it down on top of the wall. You'll coat it, and then after you do that, you can use the whole 6-inch section of the tape and lay it over top of the wall, and then just fold down your edges and coat it really good so it stays. And then I coat the fronts and the sides. So I'm in the middle of a pretty neat remodel here at my house. So if you're interested in PEX plumbing, drain and vent installation, putting TVs in strange locations, audio systems, basically anything you thought would be cool in a home when you were a kid, I'm doing now. I'm also doing fire suppression, removing and installing new electric, concrete countertops, reclaimed lumber projects, custom built kitchen cabinets. I'll be doing some pretty interesting projects like putting a hatched floor door to gain access into my cellar type basement. My house is about 140 years old, so a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing is going to be pretty interesting if you like that kind of thing. So I want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see future videos and follow this massive undertaking that I'm doing completely solo. If you have any questions on waterproofing or anything else, comment below and I'll be happy to help. I just want to say good luck with your shower.